Last year, our plant became part of a large production association in Novosibirsk that produces medical drugs. We got new orders, and we expanded production. To do this, it was necessary to buy equipment for automatic application of labels. Previously, the labeling procedure was done manually, which did not provide the necessary productivity and the necessary quality of gluing. I have worked at the factory for more than 20 years, 15 of them as chief engineer. I know all the production at the plant well. There had been virtually no modernization at our plant, and after joining we had the opportunity to update the production equipment. I was given a task to find a labeling machine, which is used to glue labels in automatic and semi-automatic mode on the pharmaceutical and drug products to the packing and shipping area. Drugs produced by our company with biopreparation in bottles were made of glass with a volume of 80 milliliters. We were looking for modern equipment that could be controlled by an LCD screen. The plan was to purchase a universal automatic equipment for sticking self-adhesive labels on bottles. In order to be able to use labels in other sizes, if it was decided to use other bottles, the equipment had to apply at least 60 labels per minute. I have a lot of acquaintances in the production industry. The first thing I did was to ask them for advice on finding automatic equipment for self-adhesive bottle labels. I understood that the field of production of my colleagues is different from that of our company, but they could recommend me good manufacturers of equipment whom I could turn to for help in choosing a machine. There are a lot of nuances in the production of medicinal products that need to be taken into account at all stages, controlled by various analytical equipment, including the application of labels. My colleagues recommended me 2 manufacturers in Germany. I found their data on the internet and sent them an email asking to select equipment according to my requirements. 2 days later I received a reply from one company saying that they had a labeling machine with the specifications given, but it was only suitable for penicillin bottles. Another company refused to work with us, as they don't work with CIS countries. Following the same advice of colleagues, I did not contact Chinese manufacturers directly. My acquaintances told me that equipment manufacturers from China often deliver incomplete equipment, citing inaccurate information about the required parameters of the machine. I could not take that risk, so I decided to choose a Russian-speaking reseller to search for automatic equipment for labeling bottles. I needed a professional who had been working for a long time in the field of supplying pharmaceutical equipment and had positive customer feedback. I started the search for a specialist on the internet. I chose 3 of the most presentable companies. As a criterion, I looked at the time the company has been on the equipment supply market, the company's website, the terms of delivery of the machine. I called to all the companies by phone in order to be sure of the manager's professionalism. The specialist of one company said to wait for 5 minutes, but never listened to me. I didn't like this attitude to the customer. The manager of another company talked to me politely, asked questions about the necessary performance equipment, terms of production. 5 days later I got 10 variants of various labeling machines from them, and an offer to make a choice by myself. I realized that they had no professional approach, and would not help me in my decision to find equipment for labeling. The last, 3rd option of a middleman from Moscow, turned out to be good for me. The manager, a man, talked to me like a professional. He asked me specific questions about production capacity, material of the bottles used, dosage, control method. During the consultation he chose an automatic machine for attaching self-adhesive labels to glass bottles, which I was able to quickly negotiate with the plant management. The machine was acceptable in terms of features and price. We concluded a contract for the supply of equipment within a week. The manager reported within 2 weeks on the degree of readiness of the machine. The machine was delivered within the scheduled time. After installation and adjustment of the equipment we could assess its quality. Glass bottles were moving along the conveyor, which is used for remote transfer and automatic feeding of products in production lines. Then the process of affixing labels from the roll took place. The labels were fed from the roll by an electric stepper motor. The machine was controlled by an LCD screen system. We were satisfied with the automatic equipment for attaching self-adhesive labels to glass bottles, as recommended and supplied by the manager of this company. I realized that I made the right choice of a specialist to supply the equipment. Qualified advice is essential in choosing any purchase. The project is sure to be successful if that advice was received from a professional.